Each person is born with a potential to achieve something wonderful with his or her life. Everyone, including you, possesses powers and capabilities that have never before existed. You are unique. When God made you, He threw away the mold. And you have an important contribution to make to this world. The only question is, are you going to fulfill your earthly destiny, or will you, as the majority does, go to your grave with your music still in you? This is one of the most important questions of your life, or my life, or any life. Are you going to fulfill your potential and become everything you're capable of becoming? Most people do not. Only a small percentage of individuals in each generation live their lives to the full, functioning at the outer limits of their capabilities. The majority simply live lives of quiet desperation, feeling helpless and trapped by circumstances beyond their control, by fears and doubts that hold them back. I'm convinced that fear is, and always has been, the great enemy of human potential. More people are held back by fears, real and imagined, conscious and unconscious, than by any other factor. Where on earth do these fears come from, and what can we do to overcome them rather than having them overcome us? Children are born with only two fears, the fear of loud noises and the fear of falling. All other fears are learned as we grow up. Parents, in an attempt to guide and control us, tend to use destructive criticism on their children an average of 8 times for every 1 time they use praise. The psychological impact of punishment, scolding, and spanking, all meant to help us learn, is the development of feelings of inferiority, inadequacy, and self-doubt. These feelings translate into fears of failure, fears of rejection, fears of poverty, loss, lack, and limitation. We know that whichever emotion is strongest in us will determine our response to any situation. And whatever emotion we give into the most becomes the controlling emotion in our lives. For most people, fear is the dominant emotion. Most of what people say, their reasons, justifications, and excuses, are simply ways to rationalize acting in accordance with their fears. The opposite of fear is love, especially self-love, self-esteem, which is expressed in desire. That's why intense desire, a powerful emotion, is the starting point of all great success, because if your desire is strong enough, it will overcome your fears. If fear is the great enemy of human potential, especially the fear of failure, then the great business of success depends upon the development of courage. Winston Churchill said, "Courage is rightly considered the foremost of the virtues, for upon it all others depend." Perhaps the most outwardly identifiable quality of the healthy personality is courage. You can always tell how together you are as a person by how willing you are to risk, to move out of the comfort zone toward the fulfillment of your potential. The future belongs to the risk-takers. They are the movers and shakers, the people who make things happen. The risk-takers are the tiny minority who lead the human race forward, who face their fears, who act in the face of uncertainty, and dare to move forward. Courage is the indispensable requirement of greatness. Yet courage, as Kipling said, is not absence of fear, but control of fear, mastery of fear, which can be learned as all emotions are learned. The Greek military historian Thucydides said that self-control is the basis of self-respect, and self-respect is the basis of courage. We develop courage by taking full and complete control over our lives and our thinking. That is why it is so vitally important to accept 100% responsibility, to set clear, specific, challenging goals, to commit yourself to becoming excellent in your chosen field, and to act with integrity in all situations. Each of these actions builds self-confidence and self-esteem and simultaneously diminishes the role of fear in your decision-making. At the beginning of this program, I explained that the psychology of success is based on the fact that you can act your way into feeling just as you feel your way into acting. If you do the things that highly successful people do over and over, eventually you will come to walk, talk, think, and be just like those you imitate. You can overcome your fears and develop the habit of courage by practicing the behaviors of others who have done it before you. Remember, only action is action. Only your actions express your true beliefs and values. The first part of triumph is always try. Napoleon said, "No great battles are ever won on the defensive, and only great battles produce great results." Every great life begins with an act of courage, often daring, going beyond your personal boundaries into unexplored terrain, controlling and mastering your fears as you advance. The hero is just an ordinary person who is brave 5 minutes longer than the others. You develop courage by being courageous when every fiber of your being is pulling you back towards safety in the comfort zone. The need for security of life, limb, and property is the basic human need, the survival need. But the quest for security often creates only insecurity. General Douglas MacArthur said, "There is no security in life, only opportunity."